All right. I have a children's melatonin that I'm going to take halfway through.
Why don't you take it out and see how long you can last? Also, a children's melatonin.
That's all I need.
Also, a melatonin.
Yeah.
I don't feel like those have ever worked.
Oh, I love them.
I'm on the
And I've taken my Monjaro. I'm ready to
I
go.
have no clue what that is.
Oh, I'm on Monjaro. Did I talk to you about this?
What is Manjaro? A weed from
No,
Central Asia?
it does sound like that. It's it's a diabetes medication, but I'm using it for weight loss.
Oh, wow. Off label, huh? Is it a prescribed medication?
Yes,
And who prescribed it to you?
my doctor.
For weight loss.
Uh-huh. I had to make sure a lot of insurances aren't covering it for weight loss, but mine does. So,
Yeah, it sounds a little suspicious if you ask
oh,
me.
it's not. You just don't know about it. So, but it does make me feel like nauseous if I it's kind of like when people have like a bypass surgery, and they like can't eat anything.
Yeah, but those people are also very, very fat.
Yeah. It's not that. I'm just saying like the same sort of idea where you have to you have to be conscious of what you eat because if you sort of eat something that's like very fried, if you eat a lot of it or just maybe like half of what you normally would eat of that, it will make you feel pretty nauseous.
Wait, it's an injection.
Yeah.
What is this? Is insane.
It's not.
I find it to be insane because
Let's talk about it. I didn't know that I hadn't talked to you about it.
it just seems like something. I've never known doctors in the past that maybe I'm completely wrong on this front to just prescribe someone a medication to help them lose weight unless they were like obese, severely obese,
Yeah.
not just vanity driven.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's make that the topic.
Monjaro.
Yeah, Mounjaro.
I mean, on the opposite end of the spectrum, I'm drinking a coffee. So you're gonna.
Woo! All right, I'll take my melatonin when we start.
How long does it take to kick in? I mean, if it really is gonna kick in early,
No, it's if I really wanted it to kick in, I would take 2. But this is just like just a little nudge over the cliff.
and what if there's a window? Is there a window if you have to fall asleep during that window?
I sometimes feel like that's true, but I don't know if that's just in my head.
Like Ambien, if you can survive the window, then you're gonna sit there and feel good. Apparently,
Oh, no, no, no. It doesn't make you feel good afterwards. I feel like sometimes I just miss my window and I don't fall asleep
I've never
as
known it to
so
work.
much.
I've never.
Oh, I love it.
I don't think there's anything that's supposed to put me to sleep that's ever put me to sleep. When I used to work at the radio station early, when I was an intern, I was living in the dorms at first, and people were up all hours.
Oh God, yeah. You can't go to bed at like 8 p.m.
I would try to take some of that over the counter sleep aid. Nothing. I got nothing out of that shit.
Really? Well, I've never taken a sleep aid like that. I've only taken melatonin.
Don't people have weird dreams on melatonin?
That's what they say, but I have had no effects like that.
What is the sleep aid over the counter? Unisum?
Unisom,
Is it?
that's one. Yeah, that is one.
I just think of NoDoz, which I know is the opposite.
It's the opposite. The other one's just called doze.
Maybe it is Unisum.
Why are you saying unisum?
That's what it is. SOM.
Som.
Yeah, Unisum.
That's SUM.
No, that'd
what you're
be
saying.
sure, but Unisum. Whatever. An O can be pronounced the way I'm
Unisom.
pronouncing it.
Som.
Unisum. I guess Unisom sleep gels contain that diphenhydramine.
Dextromethorphan?
No,
Oh.
this is diphenhydramine.
Oh.
Whatever.
Because
No.
I'm with you. I can't take NyQuil. It makes me insane. So uncomfortable.
It also tastes absolutely disgusting.
Ugh, horrible.
Green. What
Ugh.
is the flavor?
Isn't NyQuil sometimes red?
Flavors of NyQuil.
Cherry? Who decided cherry is the medicine flavor?
There's a cold and flu, severe. NyQuil severe seems to be berry. That's a strawberry and a blueberry.
Ew.
But I just want to
There's
know.
no way that there is any, almost like, I guess if you have a very sophisticated palate, like if you taste whiskeys and you don't just taste gasoline the entire time, and you're like, yes, fruity oaks, wooden smoke. You know, if you're tasting NyQuil and you're like, yes, overripe blueberry, and just the slightest whiff of a strawberry.
I can't get a straight answer on what the green flavor is.
Just green. Is it? Think it's apple?
There doesn't seem to be. Let's go to Reddit. I hate going to
Let's go
Reddit
to
for
Reddit.
content. It's not like it's like BuzzFeed.
Reddit?
BuzzFeed just fucking rips off Reddit threads and posts them.
Oh, because I love going to Reddit. That's where I feel like the inside scoop on what really is happening with anything.
Well,
Well, okay, not anything. More like people's experience, like real experiences with, products or something.
see, nobody has an answer on this. I've always thought it tastes like black licorice, where the red tastes like concentrated Kool-Aid. This person says sour milk, which obviously is not the flavor, but I guess there's not an assigned flavor to NyQuil. Whatever. I haven't started the show. Let's start the fucking show.
Welcome to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. My name is Autumn Fisher.
My name is Greg Russ. I was saying about BuzzFeed is half the time those articles, like 25 instances of a person's ex being completely out of touch, and then they show
And that's just coming from people saying, "Can you this is something that happened to me."
Yeah, it's some Reddit thread usually. Relationships, for example, the subreddit, and then people post. Someone posts a screenshot of a time an ex asked them some ridiculous thing, and then people follow up with their stories about it in the comments. And then BuzzFeed, I think they credit it now, finally.
Okay.
They say, oh, Redditor so-and-so. They give you the handle, the username, and then they give you the subreddit. But in the past, they didn't do that. They would just pass it off as their own. And still, the fact they're making money off of this. They're selling advertisement. People are coming and reading articles that are straight rips of Reddit threads. And then BuzzFeed attaches articles to it. Then they've got their serious news wing, where despite us doing this shit, we've got the side we want you to take very seriously. We want you to know that this is true, hard-hitting journalism. BuzzFeed News. Separate entity. Well, you should have given it a different name, because BuzzFeed is already associated with shit content. I'm not saying there's not a place or a time for it. Sometimes you want to read the shit content. But once you've established yourself as the bringer of the shit, I think it's difficult to have people put their trust and faith in your journalistic reporting.
Okay.
And then they've already said they're going to start leaning on AI to write their articles.
Great.
What are you going to lose? I mean, this means normal BuzzFeed. I mean,
Yeah, why are you so invested in BuzzFeed and what it's doing?
well, because we were just looking up Reddit, and it made me think that BuzzFeed.
Oh, I don't think anybody BuzzFeed is something like legitimate or serious.
I was annoyed that I was going to Reddit to find an answer to create content for our show. That's what was happening.
Oh, so you're saying like you're no good.
I'm no better.
You're no better. That's what I meant.
Resorted to Reddit just to spew
No,
back.
that's not true. Just because one place uses Reddit as a source doesn't mean that you suck like BuzzFeed.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Okay. Well, you hold yourself up to a really impossible standard.
I shouldn't be finding my my content on BuzzFeed. My fiance said I drink NyQuil like a fine scotch. And then the person
Ew.
shows a picture of NyQuil in a margarita glass with salt around the rim. That's funny, isn't it?
So I'm looking at the inactive ingredients of the green NyQuil, and it doesn't seem to have anything that has anything close to what I can see as a flavor, except for like sucralose, which is just sugar, and citric acid.
This is the mystery. The mystery of the night. What is...
Oh, it just says flavor. It just says flavor. It says alcohol, citric acid, D and C yellow number 10, FD and C green number 3, FD and C yellow number 6, flavor, glycerin, glycol, water, sodium, benzoate.
Like the Bush song.
Glycerine!
Don't let the
Bad
days...
moon right again. What is that fucking song about?
It's about a woman.
Is it?
Yeah. Aren't they all about women, ultimately? Or drugs? It's either about heartbreak or drugs. I shouldn't say women.
Alone all the time. Are you as one? Do you I?
Yeah, I shouldn't
Thing
say...
is Ray. Everything gray. Strawberry fields.
You have to let me clear this. You have to let me clear this. And I shouldn't have said women, about love and heartbreak. Because there's bands like Belle and Sebastian, where the lead singer sings about boys and girls. Yeah, glycerin is used.
What is it? Why is he singing about glycerine?
He felt there was
Should
something
have been
ancient and mystical about it.
easier on you. Don't get me wrong, I loved Bush growing up. And then I realized, what am I even listening to? What is he saying? I have no idea.
The Beatles song Strawberry Fields Forever is referenced in the line, "We live in a wheel where everyone steals, but when we rise, it's like strawberry fields."
What does that mean?
It doesn't matter what it means. Right there, you and your love for the Beatles should be satisfied, satiated. You should say this song with this reference is one of the best things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And then he talks about the Beatles and the meaning of the song in an interview with Fuse. It's a cynical world. Strawberry Fields is a Beatles reference because when people think of that song, it makes them happy. It elevates you and it lifts you up. For me, it's like a soft pillow. Most of my lyrics and most of the songs I've written are about rising up against struggle and what you do within problems like the human condition. What you do within problems like the human condition. How we can screw up and how we can make up for it and what we can escape from and what we can win. There you go.
I was listening to Lithium, I think, on Sirius XM. And I was listening to Everything's in, I don't think so. And at the end, it's like, Zan, I don't think so. And then at the very end, it just goes like, shit. It just ends with him going, shit.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I just imagined him in the studio going, shit.
Bush frontman Gavin Rossdale wrote Glycerine about his relationship with his girlfriend at the time, C, a model named Jasmine Lewis, who is credited as a backup vocalist on the 16 Stone album. Rossdale dated her for about 5 years before their breakup, which was exacerbated by busy schedules that kept them apart. Gavin's next relationship was with Gwen Stefani, whom he met with her band No Doubt when they were opening for Bush on the 16 Stone tour. They got married in 2002.
I met Gavin Rossdale in the 90s.
And then at some point, he cheated on her with the nanny, I think it was. Then they got divorced, and then she married, that guy?
Trent Country Boots.
Yeah, country guy. And her whole face looks
That was my Gwen
different.
Stefani. Did you think it was okay?
I didn't notice.
Oh. My Gwen Stefani.
No.
It's not that great. I'm just a girl in the world.
You shouldn't make fun of that. That was empowering. I think about being in middle school and all the bands were fronted by men, and then you had
Oh,
this.
absolutely.
You had Alanis Morissette, but that was
Awesome. That's what that was.
yeah, but Alanis
Traffic
Morissette was considered
Jam.
mainstream trash by like Lilith Fair fans.
It was? No, there are plenty of it was that she was a ska like sort of rocking band and she was the lead.
Who?
Gwen Stefani.
I cut her out because I brought up Alanis Morissette.
Oh.
And then I feel like there were Lilith Fair fans and Alanis Morissette fans. And the Lilith Fair fans thought they were a little more high class.
You're trying to bust, you try to cuss some cops when someone to bust out of Hollins Avenue High.
And then you had Gwen Stefani, who, yes, it was just cool in front of a band that even...
It's me, Gwen Stefani.
Even dudes liked it. She was
cool. Listen, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm just making fun of how she sounds because she had a really interesting way of talking.
And then she...
This my shit. All the girls would have been that good.
No, that was later on.
Yeah, I know. That was when she was on her own.
Can't believe...
Woo! 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 Stupid song. Woo!
Man, 3 years taking care of... 3 years this nanny was taking care of the boys.
Oh.
Mindy Man was her name. Gavin Ross still cheated.
Anyway.
And then Gwen ducked out of there. He was staying at home at that point. Why'd they even need a nanny? He wasn't playing anymore, was he? She was the bigger star. Maybe
that's why
maybe felt inferior.
Yeah, of course.
Who knows what she was doing on the road? Probably nothing. Probably calling and checking in on the boys and her husband.
How are the boys, Gavin?
All right, we can get off of this topic.
All right, should I take my melatonin now or later?
I thought you were supposed to take it. I've been drinking this cup of coffee.
I'm taking it now. It's a gummy.
There's this new store that opened up down the street that sells gummies and nuts and candies.
Oh, is it your favorite store in the world?
It's marketed as a nut store, and they have dried fruits.
Weird.
I was walking on the sidewalk. It just opened, and it's getting a lot of business. And I was walking towards it tonight with Christina, and then some guy was walking away from it with his girlfriend. He's like, they have all the dried fruits in the world there. It's like, what? You're excited about the dried fruits? What a fucking lame life you live. Who's excited about dried fruit? Nobody eats dried fruit because they enjoy it. They eat it because they want a snack and they're trying to be healthy. And they say, you know what? This is better than candy or something sugary.
Okay.
Even though I guess there is sugar in dried fruit, but you get some fiber and some vitamins. And I've never heard anyone get so worked up. It's like, oh, the dried fruits in the world. I don't trust him. I didn't trust that guy. I don't trust most people.
Yeah, so what's different? He helped confirm it.
Any real person would say,
excited about the fruit.
Any real person would say, oh my God, they've got all these different types of cashews. They've got curry cashews.
Stupid.
And there's Oreo covered cashews. I could get excited over. There's salt and pepper. Dried fruits.
Salt and pepper?
Yeah, salt and pepper is good. It's no different than salt. You just add pepper onto it. So it is different, but it's not that
I don't
much.
need the pepper.
It's not like it's so strange.
Salt and peppy.
Ask people if they love salt and pepper chips. They say yes. I prefer pepper sprinkled on with my salt. If you
Pepper.
If you ever find yourself in an Utz store, you want to get some Utz chips, that's salt and peppers.
An Utz store.
Yeah, that's the best.
Are you from another world?
What do you think is better? Kettle? You like
An
Kettle
Utz
crisps?
store?
You like Kettle?
Yeah, I do love Kettle.
No, Kettle breaks
anything.
cuts your gums and pulls out your fillings.
No, I don't have. I have strong American teeth.
Kettle chips are so disgusting.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You're insane.
They're
Kettle
sharp.
chips are the best. They're always all folded over onto each other, which are the best chips in the bag.
No, that makes them thicker. It makes them more durable.
and amazing
It's like
and better
chewing
tasting.
through brick mortar at that point.
I think you just have sensitive little
I don't have sensitive little
baby
teeth. I
Your
don't.
teeth are sensitive. Can't eat a chip.
I've got some of the strongest teeth around.
Apparently not, because you have trouble eating kettle chips.
No, I didn't. Everyone
You
has.
break my teeth. It's like having a brick and mortar. In
I
my
said
mouth.
they cut gums and say they you eat razor blades, your gums are going to slice, and it has nothing to do with the strength of your teeth. You use a little bit of logic. That's the comparison.
My teeth take care of the harshness that you're referring to in these chips before they get a chance to cut my gums. My teeth are the first line of defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. My throat just made a weird noise. It went.
So, yeah, it's trying to expel this melatonin that you shoved down there, or
Yeah.
your Mongo Jerry, whatever drug you were prescribed.
Mongo Jerry.
What was it
I
called?
got it for my rumple teaser.
Yeah, what is it called?
Manjaro.
Yeah, I was pretty close.
Yep, really close.
All right, so fill me in with this. Let me ask you this: does your doctor tell you if anyone asks, it's for this?
No. Because I talked to her about it first. I messaged her and
What'd you say?
she said, I said, I want to, can I have this? Can you prescribe this? I want to do it. And she said, check and see if it's covered in your health insurance. You just have to make sure that it's covered for weight loss and not diabetes, because she won't code it for diabetes,
Oh, so she's honest.
Yeah, of course.
Not like the doctor that I went to the one time to film a documentary where he's injecting ozone into people's bloodstreams, which is a gas.
What? Yeah, it's a gas.
Yeah.
But
And
I thought ozone was like a combo of different gases.
It's O3. So what? Is it O3? Is ozone?
That might be right. Ozone.
How many molecules in ozone? We'll get down to the bottom of this.
Trioxygen, so O3.
All right, so it's just an extra. But this idea is that it's and the word's slipping my mind now. There's a very specific term for it, but it kills things. It's like not
help with joint pain and wound healing.
Yeah, like
IV ozone treats diseases such as immune disorders, breathing disorders, and diabetes, and kills bacteria and viruses, which may help in eradicating some diseases. This is alternative disctherapy.com. So
yeah,
I trust that.
You shouldn't trust it. Nobody should trust this. A disinfectant.
Yeah.
People think it's like a disinfectant that will serve as like a natural antibiotic or something like that. And we went to this doctor, and because I worked for that quack. That crazy guy, Gary Knoll, making his documentaries because I needed money when I shouldn't. I really shouldn't have. Look, he was going to do it anyway. That's how I justified it. Like when people say, you shouldn't be using plastic. I'm like, the plastic. I could say I'm not going to buy any more plastic, but the plastic's already in the store. So it's not like me not buying the plastic has kept the plastic from being made.
Right.
And that's how I justified this. He was going to get it done either way. So I'll take the $40 an hour. Mm-hmm. And I'll shoot this documentary, and I'll ask them not to put my name in the credits. And
Smart.
We went to this doctor, and he really has like a syringe, a giant syringe filled with ozone, and he's injecting it directly into someone's bloodstream. And I guess you have to be very careful because you can create an air bubble, which could kill the person.
Right.
And he asked me as I was filming, please don't show my face. Don't show anything that can identify me in the office. Because it wasn't on the up and up. And this guy was a podiatrist. It was, God knows.
But wait, it's a gas. So how could it create an air bubble if it is a gas?
What do you mean?
Well,
when you put air into a liquid, blood, you're putting it into the person's bloodstream.
Yeah.
It can create a bubble in your bloodstream. You don't want any kind of gaseous bubbles in your bloodstream.
Right, but that's what he's doing by injecting a gas into your blood, right?
No, but there's a way to inject it, I guess, where you can keep the bubbles from happening.
I don't understand. Isn't it, so it's just one large bubble instead of many little
No, there's
bubbles?
no bubbles. I don't know the mechanism
But
of.
isn't a bubble a pocket of gas?
I think you put it in at a certain speed and angle, and it kind of just mixes instead of forming
Okay,
a
that
bubble
doesn't make
with
sense.
the bubble's got the integrity of the surface tension and the holding it
Yeah.
together. I
I don't
think
understand how injecting a gas into a liquid, how you don't create a bubble.
if you okay, let's say you take an air pump and you put it in a
Uh-huh.
bucket
Yeah.
and you just slowly release the air in there.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not going to create a bubble.
I don't know how. I don't get it.
No, just
That's
slowly with
impossible.
slow. It doesn't fucking matter because nobody should be doing this, and I don't think there's any real safe way to do it. And even if there's a
Yes,
safe
it
way to
says
do
in
it,
2019 the FDA stated that ozone is toxic and has no proven medical applications.
yes, that's
Which
what we
anybody
should be
who's in that
focusing on here.
alternative medicine thing is like, the FDA, of course.
And then the guy I worked for stole the business away from this doctor. So I think he also learned how to do it, and then he had a nurse do it, and the people just used to come to his office, which was an old theater on the Upper West Side, and they would sit
Mm,
there, and she'd inject them with ozone.
damn, that's wild.
He stole
So
this
no, I'm
man's
not.
illegal
This is not a
business.
quack pseudoscience.
You're not involved in is what you're saying.
No, it's
What's
not
the
that.
what's the proper use for it?
It's an A1C inhibitor. I think it's supposed to help. It's supposed to help with diabetes patients. Like, I think it helps that. I don't really know exactly. I think it's something about like your how your body deals with sugar in its system, and how it deals with your digestion, so that your insulin levels are more controlled by your own body versus needing to inject insulin.
The A1C test, also known as the hemoglobin A1C or HbA1c test, is a simple blood test that measures your average blood sugar levels over the past 3 months. So I don't know what the inhibitor does. But I assume it just keeps your blood sugar down if it's helping with diabetes type 2.
Yeah, I think it ultimately it's supposed to help your body manage its own insulin levels because it I don't know. For me, what it's doing is slowing down my digestion. Um so but it's also doing some other thing. Okay, so just I guess on paper maybe it slows down your digestion so you feel fuller longer and you don't sort of need to eat as often. Um, Mentally, what it's done is taken away a lot of noise when it comes to food. A lot of weird stuff like um, fuging out and eating, um, urges to eat things that I kind of don't want, but I really do. You know, like or like continue to eat something just because I like the texture or I like the hot and the cold. You know, like I like a hot and a cold combo in my mouth. Like a hot like a wing and a cold ranch, you know, that kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Like a hot pocket dipped in a cool ketchup.
Sure. Yeah, a hot fry and a cold yeah, something like that.
A
Just
hot
lots of these
dog
little things
dipped
that
into
get
ice
that
cream.
yes,
We're
perfect
talking about
example.
temperature, not spice.
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm talking about temperature. So, just little things where you're just enjoying the food, um, not because you still wanna eat it. I'm sorry, not because you still, like, are hungry, um, and, sometimes you're not even, like, tasting it anymore. It's just anyway, so it's just taken away a lot of this sort of, I call it noise in my brain about eating, and I've lost 20 pounds.
That's good. That's a lot. How long have you been taking it? I should start taking it then. I should ask for it.
I've been taking it for I just took my 8th dose today.
How often do you
And
take
it's
it? Oh,
once a
you
week, so 8
inject it.
weeks.
Oh, you inject it. That's right.
Every week.
Do you inject it yourself?
Yep. It's nothing. It's not like what you think, where you like have to suck in a vial and like turn it upside down and then like flick it. It's nothing like that. It comes preloaded. All you do is it's like this big pen, and you turn the top of it to unlock it, and then you just like touch your skin with it, and you press this button at the top, and it pushes the needle down, and then it snaps, like it clicks again. So you click it once, and that's it going down, and it continues to inject, and then it clicks back up, and that's how you know you're done and it's over. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, that seems to be the standard insulin pen now.
Oh, okay.
I guess
Yeah,
maybe some people still get the needles that you associate with heroin use and the vial like
Right.
you're talking about. But when I dated Molly, who was diabetic, it was the same thing. She had a long-acting insulin and a short-acting, and they were both in those
Oh,
different
okay.
pens with little twist top.
Yeah.
So I know what you're talking about.
Oh, so you're well versed.
I still, once she took the little pin prick of my finger so we could test
Yeah.
my blood sugar, and the thought of that piercing my skin and releasing the liquid inside of me made me feel really sick and lightheaded.
I have that too. If I see too much of my own blood that's like bleeding, not like menstrual blood, then I get like, it's called that. That's what we talk about with Dr. Joe and that vasovagal reaction. That's what I get. I get dizzy and lightheaded, and I feel nauseous.
Anytime I have blood drawn at the doctor, it's the same thing. And
Oh, I'm pretty tough about that.
I just don't look or try to think
Yeah, I don't
about
either.
it. But, one of the times I went in and I really thought I was going to pass out. Like I was fighting passing out. And it was all in my head. It wasn't low, like, oh, here's a cookie. I think it's just because sometimes I can get a vaccine and I think about it. It's like, oh my God, this is just floating through my blood now. This is just in my body and it's spreading out.
Yeah.
And that can really set me down a path of panic. And one of the recent...
Your body's like, all systems shut down.
I mean, it happened with the second COVID shot. I was sitting there in that waiting room and I just started internally panicking because I thought of this external foreign substance that was injected to me and how it was floating around.
I don't react necessarily that way totally, but I have been taking my injection later and later.
Where do you do it? The thigh?
Yeah, I do. I alternate thighs.
20
but I do it
pounds,
later and later because,
20 pounds, huh?
20. I know. It's wild. So anyhow, I when I would do it right in the morning because I was excited, like, oh, it's Mounjaro day. I would start to like think about it and wonder if I'm feeling weird, and then wouldn't be able to tell if I was actually feeling weird or if it was me just thinking about, am I feeling, So I take it at night now so I can just go to bed and not think about it. But it does have side effects. There's a lot of people that have had no side effects, and then there are some people that have so many side effects that they stop taking it, and then
what are
anywhere
the
between, I
common
guess.
side effects?
What's that?
What are some of the common side effects?
Headaches and nausea. And I find like if you have to be super, like, you gotta hydrate, bitch. Like, you gotta hydrate. You cannot, like, your new job is drinking water. And I bought all these liquid IVs to help me. Because sometimes if you just like aren't drinking a lot of water that day, you get such a headache. So I have headache medicine all the time. And then
you hook yourself up to an IV.
Yeah. Well, liquid IV, you know what that is? That powder?
Oh no.
Oh, it's delicious. It's amazing. It's the best like supplement. It's like actually tastes really good instead of like Gatorade, which is like, it's okay. It's actually
Wait, so
really
do you
nice.
just mix this in with water?
Yeah, 16 ounces of water. And it's like drinking like 2 glasses of like,
Wait, what is it? What is it?
32
Like
ounces of
extra wet or something?
I think it has salt in it, and so it helps and maybe some vitamin or something. I'm not sure, but I know
Pedialyte.
a lot
I
of.
would start drinking the Pedialyte.
Well, see, that doesn't taste very good.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't taste that good.
Yeah, and I feel like this tastes really good. So anyway, I drink a lot of that, and then yeah, just being like careful with what you eat, making sure you get a lot of protein, stuff like that. So I have like, yeah, you just I don't know. I'm loving it.
I think I'm trying to commit suicide with food. I'm convinced. Over the past
Like
week.
slowly.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting to the point, being 41, it's like those arteries probably can start clogging now. So I
Yeah,
don't.
but you've thought that for 10 years.
Yeah, but I've upped the terrible eating. Also, I was thinking this right 10 years ago, and I would eat pizza. I would go out to the pizza place and just eat that. And I don't know how awful I was eating, but I wasn't eating great. But recently, for whatever reason, this past week, I'm not a person who used to eat a lot of fast food, but I had Wendy's one night, McDonald's the second night. So back to back, Wendy's, McDonald's, and then pizza twice.
Okay.
Why not just end it? I think that's I want to eat healthy. I think that I want to eat healthy, but I have no clue on how to eat healthy. And anytime anything healthy is presented, it just seems not appealing. It's like the thought of a salad. Like, no, there's nothing appealing about that. And I know that people are going to say that's the trick that the food industry has played on you. They've got you hooked. They're in their grasps. And so your body doesn't associate. It's like, I don't know how to get through it. And I used to cook for myself, but if at this point I have to cook for two people, it's like I don't have enough confidence. Because if I ruined something before it wasn't that good, it's like, whatever. I don't care about eating that much anyway, so I'll just scarf this down and I'll eat it. And it's not a big deal. But now I have to make something that actually tastes good. And I don't want to screw up, so I just don't cook anything unless it's soups. Because
I feel like that's like a self-sabotage.
I'm good at soups. I can make soups, but who wants it? But then you have to do the dishes. That's a whole thing to clean up. The stove
Well,
gets
you're
the
in New
grease all
York
over.
City. It's crazy that you would eat conventional fast food. I understand having it once in a while because it's like the devil or it's like bad, good,
No,
bad.
you're right. For years and years living here, I didn't eat conventional fast food. I just didn't have it at all. I don't know why I started leaning into it. It's like, give me Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Because I would not, with all the pizza that's around here, this week I didn't have Papa John's, but sometimes I'm getting Papa John's.
Ew.
The stuffed crust. It's so delicious.
Ew. Well, I've never liked stuffed crust ever.
And I know that you live in New York with so much pizza. It's like, why the fuck would you buy that?
No, I get it. For once in a while, like I said, it's like a nostalgia almost. But
I don't even know if it's that, because I was never that nostalgic for fast food because growing up we never had it.
Oh, you didn't?
I mean, rarely. I'm not saying
it'd been a treat, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm not saying never, but my mom was really against that shit. But she was also against fats and red meats. Like we would have that stuff sometimes, but it was spaghetti and meatballs. Get out of here. We never had that. It'd just be spaghetti with marinara sauce, but no meats.
Maybe she gave you like kind of an eating disorder.
No, I don't think.
Because now you're like ice cream for breakfast.
I don't think. I mean,
Pizza.
Don't get me wrong. There were other snacks around, like fucking
and make it
Gushers.
There
were Gushers and Dunkaroos and shit, tasty cakes. I like the way she would draw the line. She's like, Little Debbie. It's like, no, I'm not buying that. That's shit. But then there would be tasty cakes, as if they were better. Maybe they had less.
From Philly.
Yeah, I understand.
From Pennsylvania.
I understand that they're from Philadelphia and that there was an attachment there, but maybe they were a little better, but they're not good. So
no, of course. They're made in like the same way that Little Debbie's made, I'm sure.
I don't know. I weigh 207 pounds now. So I've put on some weight.
You really shouldn't go by what the scale says.
Oh, I should go by what the scale says.
About how your clothes feel and how you feel in your body.
Well, I got to get on this Mungo, Jerry, it sounds like. Because I ain't going to go to the gym, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, fuck that.
I mean, that would maybe... Once the plaque's in your arteries, you can't get it out, right? Unless you have the surgery.
No. That's the point. The surgery is a stent which opens the artery so that the plaque can come through.
Yeah, but I mean, could you go just run a lot and have your heart beat to the point where you thought it was going to explode, and the pressure that's built up pushes the. Where does it go? Does the plaque go at that point?
It circulates in your body, and then like you piss it out or something, or you poop it. I don't know.
So what happens? I don't know if that's what happens. Maybe if
What is plaque?
If it breaks down, then I guess.
What is it?
I think of it as like hardened cheese. If you get,
I know.
If you get,
I thought of it
cheese
as
dip,
like bacon grease and how it like turns white.
Yeah, that's what I think of
But
it.
that's not what that is. It can't be what that is.
I think it's similar. If you get the cheese dip from the Mexican restaurant that serves American Mexican food, and you just let it sit, and the way it hardens on the
that skin forms.
Well, the skin's different. The skin's at the top, but you know, if you eat most of it, but you can't eat it all, and it's still kind of.
Oh yeah, and it gets like plastered on the sides.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Okay. But it can't be that, because your fat, okay, so like the fat is being digested in your body. And I would think that the parts that aren't digested, like you can't digest them, you like shit them out. And that's why you have like greasy diarrhea poops, because you've eaten so much fucking fat.
Or maybe it's like plaque on your teeth. It's just this hard thing. I just know it builds up in your artery.
Calcium.
I know it builds up in your artery walls, and then it becomes narrower until the point it's
right.
total
I understand
blockage.
the process, but I don't I understand that part of it, but I don't understand what it is. How does something that you've eaten that has cholesterol?
And that means many things. Cholesterol.
Okay, but like whatever the thing is that we're talking about, how does
fats.
it get into your blood
Absorbed
and then
when
decide
you
to like
eat it.
stick to a part of your walls of your artery?
Think about pouring grease down a sink. It'll clog your pipe eventually. If you keep doing it.
Why? Don't you run your hot water enough that it like melts the fat? The grease?
I don't know. I guess not.
I don't understand the world.
I mean, I'm looking at some pictures here. It looks like the cheese dip or like the bacon fat.
But isn't that just a rendering, like an illustration of it?
No, here's one. If you look it up on Wikipedia, it's actually pretty disgusting.
Plaque in artery. Images.
It's an abnormal and reversible accumulation of material. Yeah, see, look at that.
Yeah, but what is that? What's thrombus?
There you go. That's what.
What's a thrombus? What's a lipid core?
I gotta stop with this shit.
What's a thrombus cap? There's a lot. This is making me ask more questions. What is this shit? That's what I'm saying. What is it? Okay, but anyway, you got to give yourself a break because you've been saying this forever. And so it doesn't make sense that all of a sudden it would be the case.
No, it's not all of a sudden. It would be
building up over time.
This makes perfect sense. I've been saying it forever and time has passed. So it's had the opportunity to build up.
Yes, but you've had tests up until now. And I have not
had a test since I was like 28.
No, if just like a year and a half ago, I thought you had a test and they said like everything was fine.
I didn't have an EKG or anything, or I don't know if the EKG actually tests that, but you can do an ultrasound of your arteries or something like that.
No, but before that, you had like your cholesterol levels were okay.
They were a little high. They were a bit high.
Yeah, a bit.
I could get them down. I should get them down.
Well, you're very hard on yourself. And you know that's true. That's not.
No, but this is real stuff and it runs in the family. I'm not just saying this, I'm being a hypochondriac. My grandfather had a giant heart attack at 59. He almost killed him. I mean, granted, he smoked nonstop and drank a lot of booze and probably ate like shit. And I don't smoke. I haven't had a cigarette in almost 10 years. This March will be 10 years.
Wow, nice.
Since I had a cigarette.
Congrats.
I thought about it in Maine because everyone goes outside and smokes cigarettes and people don't normally smoke.
Oh, they do?
But I feel like once I have one, well, at this point, it'll probably make me feel sick.
You won't like it.
I miss the idea of it and I don't mind the smell of it, but having one cigarette, I fear will be like, well, I did it, so I may as well just start up again.
No, I miss being able to smoke. Because anytime I would go back to it, usually when I was like having a couple of drinks, it would be like, ew, they would give me the whole, I'd ask for like a drag or and they'd be like, "Here, you can have one." You're like, "Oh, no, 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 I don't want it." And then because I would just put it out after I would take like the one puff, and then I would take the obligatory second one just because they gave me a whole one. I'd be like, "Ugh, gross," and then I'd regret it
I liked
because
it.
it is really gross tasting.
I really liked it.
No, I liked it too. It's so fun. Smoke pouring out of your mouth.
So cool.
Yeah, it's like a dragon.
So much cooler than vaping. But it's good.
Zopping.
It's good that I've cut that out. And booze, really,
Yeah.
I don't drink that much anymore.
I'm sure you'd be fine.
Let's go get the tests at some point in a couple more years.
You should.
Maybe I should start eating salads.
Okay, have you ever had a salad that isn't just like lettuce and like carrots and tomatoes and cucumbers and stuff?
Yeah, they make them here at the bodega where you can go in and you can say they got it all laid out and it's fresh. And it's like, pick your...
Yeah, like cranberry.
Ugh, are you
seeds.
fucking kidding me? Cranberries. So they're just...
Well, like dried cranberries.
yeah,
like
it's like
craisins.
raisins at that point. It's disgusting.
They're great. No, they're craisins. They're not like raisins. They're not like...
I'll get beets.
No, you're wrong. They're good.
Give me beets. Give me some heart of palm.
Heart of palm.
Yeah, that's good.
Ew. Did you
Oh,
want dirt?
It's not dirt.
I can't taste any. I have like a block in my palate about what beets taste like because I can only taste dirt.
Oh, I thought you were talking about heart o' palm.
Heart palm.
No, but these beets don't taste like dirt.
Yeah, every beet I've tasted tastes like dirt, but that's because I can't taste it. I don't know.
Chickpeas.
It's just like when my parents, don't eat vegetables. My mom has like opened her boundaries just a little bit with like a roasted, something. Anyway, like a roasted carrot. She's like, "Ooh, I like it." But when I get her to taste something that I think tastes delicious and it's a vegetable, she'll be like, "Tastes like dirt."
I think they're good. I also love the way they stain and they make you think something's wrong with you after you eat them because when you pee and poop, there's red.
You love to play that little game with yourself. You're like, "Ooh, I might be dying.
Yes.
Oh no, I've
Have
got
you-
blood in my stool."
Have you looked at a fucking Wendy's menu recently, by the way? McDonald's is still pretty much the same. You know what you're going to get. And there's a Big Mac. There's a double quarter pounder with cheese, which I guess is pretty crazy. Maybe there's a triple. But I know that, Hardee's started this crap where there's just absolutely insane burgers. But that was the one thing. When I did get Wendy's, like, I don't know, let's give me a junior cheeseburger and like the small stuff. Because they have shit like the Italian mozzarella cheeseburger. And there's got 1,100 calories in just one of these things. And it's pretty much topped with deep fried, like a mozzarella stick, except it's a slab of it.
Oh, I see it.
So it's 2 patties and like a fried mozzarella on top. And then
You can get 3.
and then there's like there was one like a triple cheeseburger that's bourbon bacon triple cheeseburger. It's topped with fried onions and a shitload of bacon and 3
I'm gonna
fucking
puke for real.
patties, 1,300 calories. I don't like. Our people must be eating these. There's a pretzel bacon pub triple that's 1,530 calories, or Dave's triple. Like, I don't know how you fucking fit that thing in your mouth. If you look at Dave's triple. So I assume, I'm not saying it's any better, but looking at what I got, I think I got a junior cheeseburger and a double stack. The junior cheeseburger is 290 calories and the double stack is 410. So when you compare that shit with a big bacon classic triple, how the fuck are they? Like, the normal burgers aren't keeping them afloat. People are going for these monstrosities.
Yeah.
These mutations of American fare.
Well, I was thinking about my 600-pound life and how I just saw a clip of one where like this guy woke up and ordered so much food for breakfast. He ordered like the family whatever, like the pancakes, the omelets, the sausages, like just so much food.
I do think, that it's the mental part of it too, where it's like, what? Fuck it. I'm already here. There's no fucking going back. So just continue. And I think there is a drive
Well, and
to
they get so much pleasure like it is an addiction, you know.
I figure it's
And
like there's no going back. There is a drive to slow suicide. It's like
so you think that that's where you are, except you're very thin.
just because you're thin doesn't mean you're healthy.
True. Also, you walk like your grandfather didn't walk
Well,
around New York City every day.
ever since COVID, that used to be the thing. It's like, wow, I'm getting a lot of steps in because I'm going places. And since COVID and working from home, that's fucking fallen off. I should go out there and go on walks. I tried going to the gym, but I really hate it. I just hate it. I don't like dealing with the people. Like there's
You really, God, you really are too up in your brain.
when we went to the
I know
Edward Hopper.
you're like those people that are manic depressives and like don't take their medicine because they love being manic.
I don't think it's that.
You're like, I kind of love being this neurotic.
When we went to the Edward Hopper exhibit at the Whitney Museum,
Uh-huh.
I've expressed before on the show how much I like Edward Hopper, and
Mhm.
there were ticket times. I'm like, oh, they're limiting the number of people. You get there, it's fucking packed. It's so fucking, and I'm angry that there's like these people are there to see this thing, and how can they hold the same views? They can't feel the same thing. It's like they do. I listen to the people speak and the things that they're saying about.
Oh, they don't deserve to be there.
No, they don't, because they're making shit up and they can't just appreciate it for what it is. They got to break it down into all the small parts, which that's a thing that was born out of modern art. I'm not saying that there wasn't an appreciation at some point when people were doing representational art of the materials that went into it, but you're looking at it as a whole, and if it makes you feel something. Does anyone feel anything from modern art? To me, that's how you gauge it. You look at it and you're like, okay, this is making me think or feel. It's like modern art's like, but you got to understand that with the materials that went in and the rebellion against the representational art that happened, and then you get to postmodern art, and that's just, at that point, a small piece of the whole. It's like watching a second of a movie, and you're supposed to look at this thing and then expand from there. Fuck you. I don't, maybe, if I had a working imagination. Could look at someone's pile of broken glass and create a backstory to how the broken glass got there.
But your point is that you didn't think that the people that were at the Hopper exhibit deserved to.
There's no
appreciate
way.
it?
There's no way they felt the same way I did. And if they did, then that I can't allow that, because then that means I'm not special. And I'm just like all these other people that I hate. So I was in a bad mood for a bit. I had to settle down before I could enjoy it. I thought
See, you get in your own way.
Why on the ticket is there times for entry? You think there'd be limited? It meant nothing. It meant fucking nothing. Nobody checked any times. Once you were in the museum, you could just go into the exhibit.
Yeah, that's annoying. I get it.
So stop presenting it like it meant something.
Yeah.
3:30. Show up at 3:30. You come in. We could have showed up at 1. They wouldn't. And there's other people just walking into the museum, and you can go to any floor at that point.
Sorry, I'm looking at Dr. Now. What's his name? Oh yeah, Dr. Now Zarden from My 600-Pound Life.
Yes.
And he said, there's a quote from him that says, "You have 1 month to lose 30 pounds." 30.
Oh yeah, making fun of the way the man speaks.
You have 1 month to lose 30 pounds.
It's also not difficult to lose the 30 pounds when you weigh that much. I watched The Biggest Loser, and those people used to be like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, oh, no. That's just.
Well, that's part of like a huge scientific experiment.
What is?
Or study. I'm sorry, study. The Biggest Loser contestants.
What do you mean?
So the way that they started and then how they were and how they lost the weight, and then the progress that they either made or were unable to make after the show ended is has been a big part of learning about how your body deals with weight loss, because there's a lot of, the old adage of, well, you have to take in less calories than you put out. No. Yeah. Take in less calories than you put out. But what can happen is when you're in this weird cycle of dieting is and calorie restriction is that your body and different bodies react differently to calorie restriction. So some bodies react in a way like like people say where it's, less in, less out, whatever I'm saying. And others just adjust and say, "Okay, I need to hold on to all this because I'm not getting as calories as I want, as my body wants. So I'm gonna hold on to all this." And so it's more difficult to lose the weight. So, all of that has come from, um, a huge study into contestants from The Biggest Loser.
So it was a public service, is what you're saying.
It turned out I don't see the swan coming into any scientific experiments.
Didn't one of the trainers have a heart attack? He did.
I think
It was
one
the
of the
guy.
contestants died or something.
No, but the trainer who's like in shape, he had a heart attack. Bob Harper.
Well, see, there you go.
And then Jillian Michaels.
Well, Jillian Michaels is a real dickhead.
What
She's
do you
like,
mean?
if you gain a pound, you're a fucking loser.
Yeah, you got to motivate the people.
No, like in her real life, she's like a terrible person.
And Bob Harper had a heart attack in the gym in the middle of his workout.
Well, yeah, you're probably pushing your body too far with not enough energy, like fuel. So your body's like, fuck you, dude.
He was unconscious for 2 days. And
Damn, that's really tough. That's really bad for you.
he blamed his genetics.
See? Eating disorder.
Genetics are double aim.
Just because you're fit does not mean that you don't have an eating disorder.
All right, well, Mungo Jerry is the way to go. See, this melatonin didn't even kick in. You're not feeling shit.
I'm feeling a little tired.
No, you forgot. You forgot it because it's late at night. It's 10:22.
No, I could. I mean, I've brushed my teeth and washed my face, so I'm ready to get in the bed.
I got to stay up. Got to watch the episode of Last of Us.
Oh, I need to start watching The Last of Us.
It's hard for me to gauge what people get out of it if they haven't played the game, because it's there's only like 9 episodes in the season, and there's so much to cover that I feel like the show may be rushed for people who don't
Oh,
know
people are
anything.
loving the episodes, though.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad that they're liking it.
I kind of want to play the game.
Christina's been playing the games, and she never plays video games. And now she's obsessed. Like even tonight when I'm recording, check, should I bring the PlayStation downstairs? She's been playing
Aw.
it all day. And she played it
Cute.
for hours. But I mean, the game, she's already on the second game. And the second one.
Second game.
Huh?
The second game?
Yeah, there's a second Last of Us video game.
Oh. So she beat it already?
She beat the first one,
Damn, it's fast.
which took probably 20-something hours. And she's on the second one, which, looking back at my game, it says I played it for 33 hours. So that means it took me 33 hours to beat it.
Loser. Jillian Michaels has no time for you.
It's crazy, the video games. You know, I think I bought that for $60. That's a good value to get 33 hours of.
Yeah.
We talked about this, I think, when I talked about Homescapes and how a game never ends. It's not a good value. And I've spent more money probably on that than I have on an actual video game that a whole team of people worked on and put a lot of thought and time into.
Yeah.
And, people complain about the cost. It's like when we were kids, Nintendo games were $40, $45, $50.
Yeah, I think there were 50.
And then, for these games to get to this length and be this layered, it's a pretty good value, I think. But then you get into the thing where Rockstar pushes their employees to the brink of death and they don't pay them well, which is probably true. I mean, not the death part, but they probably don't get paid that well.
I don't care. I can swim in San Andreas. So the first time I I went off the cliff and into the water. I was like, fuck. And then I was like, oh, I can swim. Wee.
Yeah, see, Tommy.
Because in Vice City, you always died immediately. You're like, God damn it.
Yeah, Tommy couldn't swim.
Mm-mm.
Now swimming's a big part of it.
And he lived in Miami. What are you doing? Mungo Jerry.
All right, well, take your shot. How long does it go
Already
on?
did.
How long does the treatment last?
I don't know. I think that people like increase and increase and increase their dosage and then come back down and like try and manage on lower and lower dosages until they stop.
Oh, there's
injecting.
withdrawal. Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't think it's withdrawal. I think it's more like you start having cravings again, and I don't know. I'm just going for it.
What the fuck? An alligator was captured in the Prospect Park Lake. It's a big park in Brooklyn. Why the hell was there an alligator in there?
People that buy them on the street or something, those little ones.
I have
They're
to
like-
say, well, I'm sorry to change the subject like that, but that just popped up.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? When I first moved here,
Oh, and
went-
the toilets. Wasn't that a thing?
well, I went to a pet store because my roommate had a dog and we went to like get food and stuff. And it was a weird, shady pet store. And the guy was talking about selling exotic pets and
Yeah. Oh, God.
that he could get you things probably like an alligator.
Can you imagine, like, what animal, what exotic animal did he have in the back, just like in a sad cage?
Well, apparently this alligator was in no shape to... Well, it's been a pretty warm winter. It's cold enough where this alligator was barely alive, so they are calling it a rescue.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't
Well,
attacking anyone. All right.
I'm glad he made it.
We'll buy the hot sauce. Yeah, we don't need to promote
Yeah,
that
yeah.
anymore. There's no reason,
Love you. Bye.
no reason to promote it.